Hey everybody, good morning. This is Terry with Gateway to Counseling. Welcome to the Ask Terry Show. So we come live here to you guys on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 8:15 to 8:30. We answer any questions that you guys may have, and then we rebroadcast it in our group, okay? So, why do we do this? Why do we offer this free service to you guys? Good morning, Sandy. We offer it because we want to bring peace, joy, love, and light into the lives of millions, right? So, let's get right into today's question, which I think is an excellent question. The question is, should I call my dad, my deadbeat dad, and say Happy Father's Day? You know, we have Father's Day coming up on Sunday, and I think that these Mother Days, Father's Day brings up a lot of emotions for a lot of people because everybody wants to, it brings back those memories of our childhood, right? Like, did we have a good mom? Did we have a good dad? Did they take good care of us? And unfortunately, guys, there's a lot of people good morning, good morning. There's a lot of people out there who parents were not good parents. I mean, that is just a fact. I work with a lot of children. I've been working with children now as a therapist for over 25 years, and primarily children within the CPS system. And so I hear a lot about parents. And guys, that's why I started Gateway to Counseling, because it just hit me like really hard that we're trying to do all this work with children, but the parents are being neglected. And so, you know, let me just answer the question straight off the bat, and then let me give you some background to it. No, you don't have to call your deadbeat father and say Happy Father's Day. You really don't have to do that. Don't let society, don't even let the church tell you that you have to forgive and forget and be nice and cordial and have a happy relationship again with your parents. I do believe in the forgiveness part, not because of it benefiting your parents, but because of it benefiting you. All right, so let me peel this back, right? I'm always talking about peeling back the layers of the onion. If you have a parent that was abusive to you and they continue to engage in those same behaviors to this day, why would you expose yourself to that harm again? Why would you expose yourself to that abuse again? Let's say, for example, yes, they were physically abusive to you when you were a child. They can't physically abuse you now as an adult, but they can emotionally abuse you, can't they? I mean, they're tearing you down. They're calling you names. They're saying little sly comments to you, right? So you don't have to expose yourself to that. If you want to send them a card, that's nice, if you still feel love in your heart for them, because they're all your parents, yeah, go right ahead and do that. You can even pick up the phone and just say, hey, I was just calling to say Happy Father's Day. But if your father in your mind has not been a father to you, then you don't have to do that. You don't have to pick up that phone. My father died when I was only 3 years old. I have a stepdad. He's not my stepdad anymore because he and my mother divorced when I was only 19 years old. But to this day, I still consider him someone very important in my life. He took me to those father-daughter dances, right? He protected me. He made sure that I was safe. He even took up for me at times when my mom and I were arguing, right? And he understood. He even he even caught me drinking vodka in the kitchen when I was a teenager, trying to be like I was a big girl on the phone with my friend Sonia, and never told my mom. Right? That was pretty cool. But I knew by the look in his eyes that I better not ever do that again. Right? So yes, he is not my legal father. He's not my biological father. He and my mother, you know, are not together, have not been together for over 20 plus years, but I still consider him to be a father to me, right? So, of course, I am going to do nice things for him. I just spoke to him on Sunday to make sure that he's doing okay because I'm worried about his health, right? I pick him up, I take him places, we do things together. So there is probably someone in your life that is a father to you, that is a mother to you. Honor that person, right? You know, I don't remember now if it was Jimmy Evans or Pastor Robert Morris. It was Pastor Robert Morris who was talking recently about the fourth commandment, about honor thy father and mother. And I believe that you can honor your father and mother without necessarily having a relationship with them. Well, how does that look? It means you don't tear them down. It means you don't go out in public and talk rudely about them. You don't, if someone says to you something like, well, how's your dad doing? I hadn't seen you in a while, hadn't seen your dad in a long time. How's your dad doing? Oh, he's doing fine. Well, I've been told he's doing pretty good, but he and I don't really have that kind of relationship, you know. Um, and if you think that person's going to start asking you a lot of questions, I really don't want to get into it. But, I love him. I know he loves me the best way he can love me. And we go on like that, right? I think that people start to feel guilty, especially during Mother's Day and Father's Day. They feel guilty that they don't love their parents as other people do, that they don't have this relationship that other people have, that you even start to feel like you're a little different, don't you? Like, well, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with my family that we don't have this closeness? I see my friend so and so, and they're really close to their parents, right? And that's wonderful. But everyone is different, guys. And I'm sorry, but some parents really do hurt us. They tear us down. And I just don't want you guys to be exposed to that. So, should you call your deadbeat father? No, absolutely not. Should you feel guilty about it? No. If you're going to feel guilty about it, I'd rather you pick up the phone and call them. Should you forgive them for all the harm they have done? I think you should, because I think parents do the very best they can. And now you're saying, well, Terry, how in the world am I going to forgive this guy who's never even been involved in my life? Because let's face it, we have a lot of fathers out there who have not been around. We see all these stars out there, these athletes and so forth, and their dads come around when they become famous, right? And so many other things that go on when parents are just absent for years and years and years. If you've been in CPS custody, for example, if you were in CPS custody as a child, your parents' rights were terminated and you don't even know where they are anymore, right? And you've had to rebuild your life without them. And guys, I'm afraid that sometimes we go out there searching for our parents with this fantasy of what our parents are going to be like. And then when we encounter them again, they're nothing like that. And we are so disappointed. I don't want you to live in a fantasy world, but I also don't want you to be so depressed again about it, because let's face it, a lot of people experience a great amount of depression because they don't have the parents that they have. Well, that's okay. I say to people, my dad died when I was 3. I have my ex stepdad, but I also had so many uncles in my life that were fathers to me. My Uncle Mike, my parrain, my Uncle Paul, my Uncle Wilson, my Uncle Tit. All these men that were in my life guiding me, just instructing me on how to be a lady, how to have relationships. Even when they didn't know they were instructing me, I was watching them. I was watching how they interacted with my aunts. I was watching how they went to work every day. I was watching how they partied hard on the weekends and still took care of their families. I watched all of that. I watched the drama. I watched the joys. I watched the pain. And the men in my life taught me a lot, right? So they are my fathers, aren't they? So I don't need to focus on the fact that my dad died when I was 3 and was not there. I don't need to focus on some of the drama that my mother went through as she tried to find her way into a good relationship with a man. I need to focus on the joy and the love that was given to me by the men around me. Because to me, a father is not about blood, is it? It's not about blood at all. It's about you and I connecting and you taking on that leadership role in my life. So, when we think about that fourth commandment of honor thy father and mother, yes, I absolutely do believe that we should honor and we should respect. But that doesn't mean that I have to expose myself to abuse again. It doesn't mean that I have to expose myself to those situations again, where I'm going to be traumatized again, right? So, again, the question was, should I call my deadbeat dad and tell him Happy Father's Day? If you feel so led to do that, then do it and make it a quick conversation. If you don't feel led to do that and it will bring you more grief, then just don't do it. If you feel like you should do something, then just mail a card, send an email, send a text. We have so many options nowadays, right? It's not like back in my day when we had the phone or we had to do face to face. So you have so many options. So I hope you guys will do that. I hope this has helped you a little bit. If you guys have any questions, if your friends have questions that you are puzzled about yourself, it's a mental health question, send me a message. I won't use any names. We'll be able to talk about it here live. Like I said, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 8:15 to 8:30. And then we rebroadcast in our group. I will be coming to you again tomorrow. Do want to let you guys know that if you are struggling with these, child parent relationships, right? And maybe it's spilling over even into your relationships with your children. We are here for you. That is the whole reason we started Gateway to Counseling, because we realize that adults need help too. So, Gateway to Counseling, bringing peace, joy, love, and light into the lives of millions with affordable online counseling. Anywhere, anytime. We do say enter our gates into a brighter tomorrow where you are in control. Bye-bye, guys.